Oh, I'm ready. Welcome to What's Niggling Me. I don't know what the fuck that noise was. Today we start off with a little bit of a mix here. Start off with John Bryan.
Who's that?
He's a fixer. He's Prince Andrew's go-to guy. He says Prince Andrew's kids are his kids. I raised those kids. Those are my kids. He sounds like RFK kind of. And bro, this interview's rough. But just the start of this right here. Oh, we definitely need to get the volume going. Motherfucker. John Bryan on Piers Morgan. Who knows how loud it's gonna be? You ready? Well, let's see if the the video seems like it's okay. Not bright as fuck.
Well, the Sting video is very interesting. I think O'Keefe Media is genius in certain ways. The woman that I met was spectacular. She was interesting, fun, bright, a great actress, let's say. She's putting on a role, but if I was a producer or director, I'd be hiring her for any acting role. And I think that part of the reason that I was saying these things is I had quite a lot to drink, and I just was not speaking the truth, and I have to admit it, and I regret very much what I said, and none of it reflects what I actually believe. And what I was saying was stuff that was basically you could Google anywhere in the world. And
yeah, he sounds like he's trying to figure his answers out a lot like Peter Thiel, eh?
What is it?
That's the first question of the interview.
And then we're supposed to just be like, oh yeah, but he was that stuff just randomly comes out of his mouth when he's drunk.
It was so funny, okay? So he credits O'Keefe Media, right? And then I haven't put this one on here, but I'm not trying to steal anybody's fucking videos. I'm trying to spread awareness. I'm not.
O'Keefe Media is releasing never-before-seen footage from inside the buildings on Jeffrey Epstein's island. The island, known as Little St. James, is located in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Drones have flown overhead in the past. Independent journalists have snuck ashore, but no footage or images from inside these buildings has ever been published. In this world-exclusive, O'Keefe Media Group takes you through the kitchen inside for hosting high-profile visitors and events. You'll see the entire kitchen is a sterile white with stainless steel appliances. There are sparse decorations, including a few pieces of coral, but there does appear one prominent artwork, a large framed photo of a nude baby in a sink. The baby...
That's a weird picture. To have him...
Huh? That is weird, I've seen it.
It's weird to have that in the kitchen. That's weird. Gotta roll my joint. And then today... Oh, that's not that one. Where is it, right? Oh no, it's in that same. We'll go back. And... Today we got the library.
More never-before-seen video and images from inside Jeffrey Epstein's former island home, showing bizarre statues and a cryptic message written on a chalkboard by Jeffrey Epstein.
Since our government won't release it, nobody's government, everyone's complicit.
Little St. James in the Virgin Islands. Last time we took you inside the kitchen to show that really creepy image of a baby in a sink. YouTubers have snuck on the island. Luke Radowski, Tyler Olivier getting images of the outside of the structures. But today we're going to take you inside the structures, inside Jeffrey Epstein's library. We're going to take a closer look. Now, this has never been seen before. We are now inside the library. Dozens of books line the walls, including literature like Ernest Hemingway's Selected Letters, vacation reads such as Robert Ludlum's The Bourne Ultimatum, denser titles like The Golden Age of Theoretical Physics, and Salman Rushdie's Satanic Verses. Now, a closer inspection revealed unusual objects, statuettes of winged figures in plague masks, and one of a semi-nude young woman washing herself while seated on a bidet. Video and photos inside the library also show a horse whip, which is right here under the chalkboard, apparently crafted from leather and bones. And then we go to this chalkboard over here. Now, this chalkboard displayed cryptic words, including the word power, deception, mirror in face, dank brain, among others. Now, the chalkboard's message remains a mystery, and we're hoping that some of you in the audience can help decipher and ascertain what Epstein might be talking about here. This is, again, right after he was arrested. We compared the words on the chalkboard to a note Epstein wrote in his prison cell before his death. Several letters and letter combinations from the note match those on the chalkboard, which leads us to believe they were in fact written by Jeffrey Epstein. And
what is the media going to say about this, eh?
The audience can take a look at this and tell us what you think he was trying to say here. Was it a message? I can't wait till my mom messages me with questions. We're receiving a lot of images, videos, and photos as a result of our reporting. These sources reaching out to us include those within the government, people who don't trust anybody, including our own Department of Justice. These people are reaching out to us on Signal at 914-491-9395. We're currently corroborating.
I can't wait to see in that temple. What was going on in there?
It's gonna be fucked.
Man, why are my papers garbage? I know that last paper was dry as fuck. Let me go back here to good old John Bryan. I know I got a screenshot at 6 something.
You still work for the family or no?
Oh, I'll show you. No, he doesn't currently. I'll show you what he's up to. Oh, fuck off. My screenshots are rough. Where are we at here? Oh, he's going to come up here and talk about more.
I regret it sincerely and deeply.
I mean, the key part of what you were caught on camera saying was what I'm about to play. Let's just play it and then I'll ask you about it. This is where you talk about Prince Andrew and whether he may have had sex with underage girls.
I was really pissed because he lied to me. Epstein. And then I did a big thing in the Daily Mail saying that I believed it. And then I found out he was lying. I was so pissed. No, he was underage girls. That's not cool.
Fucking underage girls is not
I've had
cool.
a few drinks in my time. But I don't remember having a few drinks and then saying the complete opposite to what I actually believe to random people in bars. I don't know why alcohol would make you do such a U-turn on what you think.
Well, I think it was much more than alcohol. I think that it was alcohol combined with somebody that, you know, I have to confess, I was very taken with this young lady, and she, you know, the more encouragement of the negative things that she liked to hear, and so I was trying to it was a mistake. I can't say it any other way, and I can only say that I regret it very much, and it does not reflect in any way, shape, or form what I believe to be true.
Oh,
Alright, I got one here.
And suffering.
Have you been in touch with Sarah, the Duchess?
Let me go back a tiny bit here.
And the message that I do on camera, and the message that I do uncensored, as your show says.
Yeah. Well, it will go out uncensored. We don't
important.
censor. Yeah, we do. So we don't censor stuff. I mean, have you spoken to Prince Andrew since the sting?
I have not.
Have you made any attempt to contact him or not?
Listen how this guy answers this question coming
I
up.
don't think that's appropriate, and the only thing I can do is apologize and say I'm deeply, deeply sorry for having put anybody through that pain and suffering.
Have you been in touch with Sarah, the Duchess?
I sort of forewarned a little bit that there was something coming, but I didn't know what to expect. I was completely shocked and surprised when it came out.
But have you been in touch with Sarah, the Duchess of York?
Yes, as I say, she did message me, and I have, and I've expressed my regret and sorrow and apologized.
I mean, I know her.
Bro, just like Peter Thiel.
trying to find the right answer to say.
Yeah. Then got one more. What's he up to, eh? What's he up to these days?
Gosh, I think that might be. You have to sign an NDA for that one.
Oh, come on, I can find out.
70, I'm 70 in a month.
And you're obviously you're looking forward to that like a smack round the head.
Whatever that means.
Yes, exactly.
In England.
It's not one of the I celebrated 50. I kind of celebrated 60. I think this one's a little nerve-wracking.
But you're still working.
I am. I'm very much involved in restructuring and corporate realignment, corporate takeovers, corporate turnarounds, and transitional. My history is as a transitional CEO and somebody that comes in to help turn companies around that get in trouble.
Do you reckon you could turn around Harry and Meghan PLC or not? Or are they lost cause?
Man, he didn't handle this interview the best. But he was nice about Virginia Giuffre. What happened to my mouse? Oh, I just pressed something I didn't mean to press, right?
Tell me.
I lost control of my mouse. No. What the fuck did I just do?
Did double tap or triple tap your touchpad? Your touchpad.
I did.
Is there a light on your touchpad?
No.
There's
Man,
no light.
I wonder what I just did to my computer. It's frozen. It's not frozen. I just did something to my mouse that I don't understand. And I popped up, it's something that says account, loop, copy video or URL. What did I accidentally click? Figured it out, I think. Wait. Bruh. What do I gotta do? How do I get my mouse back? I can use the arrows on the keyboard. I lost my mouse.
I don't know. I have to see it.
I see it here. Something's going on there. Whoa, trippy. What's going on? Yo. Motherfucker. What's going on, right? I'm so confused. I just did something to my computer.
Reset it.
I got it back all of a sudden. Yo, so weird. I don't get it. I don't get what was just happening. What do we got here? We got, this is awesome.
I want to get into government. Do I have to support Israel?
The first question of this podcast.
The Israel lobby has an incredible power over the decisions that government makes. And what we've seen is on the left or on the right, if you question the policies of the Israeli government legitimately, people will accuse you of anti-Semitism. And that is weird and wrong and kind of unlike anything else we see anywhere else. Now, there are legitimate expressions, of concern regarding the anti-Semitism that we see on college campuses. But I got to tell you, no one's asked me the question that directly. And the truth is, if you oppose the U.S.-Israel relationship, you face tremendous headwinds to get into government. Not just appointed government, but elected government as well. Dude, it's moving. And
What is?
the thing?
That's Gaetz.
Matt Gaetz, bro. And there's some things in here in this podcast that are incredible. Right here, coming up.
Probably what builds strong institutions over time. The fear that people would get power, surrender it, and then not want to be exposed to the most extreme circumstances.
That's true. But then again, you could make the point that if you publicly execute everybody, then there's nobody to then oppose you or ever flip you to the other side to get executed.
But we tried that shit in our interventionist wars of the early 2000s. George Bush thought that he could execute his way to control of the Middle East. And the truth of the matter is, oh, dude, what the fuck? Is this really a dude? Is this really... Oh, that's actually...
This podcast was insane that he went on here.
Yeah, very weird.
Awesome. Right here.
New show prep is hand to paper pad. It's kind of retro.
Oh, I'm printing this out.
No, you're not. You're actually conducting a show off of
Yo,
the written word, which is a throwback.
you want to hear another one?
Let it roll.
Would you say this podcast is at least the second time you've met with a 17-year-old?
Well, probably since I've been 17. Look, man,
Or 35?
No,
it on
no,
that.
that's not my scene. Listen. Here's what you got to know. When you accumulate a little bit of power and you use it to challenge other power centers, they fuck with you. They do everything they can to delegitimize
I won't cut it,
you
Matt
and
Gaetz. I'll
discredit
let you put
and
context
I've
in
ignored
here.
that. But here's the thing. No one's ever made that allegation against me in a court of law. And you know what?
I didn't make that. I didn't make any. I'm just asking a
We're just
question.
chilling on a podcast.
I don't want to get sued.
Yeah, but you know what? If anybody did make that allegation in a court of law, I would have subpoena power. I could cross-examine witnesses, and it would be exposed for the fraud that it was.
Oh, I was just asking.
I'm not making allegations. I believe it was fraud too. And I'll show why I know that, but I got a couple more clips. Right here-ish.
It's random. And I like the show prep.
Yes. I was just doing some research. How much do corporations typically pay congressmen to pass laws that they like?
I would say to get your bill before a committee, it's typically about $100,000.
$100,000.
To get it to the floor is $750,000, and to really have the presiding officers lower their shoulder and get it through, $5 million and up.
But who do you donate the money to?
The political, so it's knowing where to donate the money to is actually something you pay people to teach you. But for any particular piece of legislation, there is a reference path. You're going to go to the Armed Services Committee on military things, the Judiciary Committee on legal things, the Environmental Committee on environmental things. So you got to pay off those people along the way. And then if you really want the job done, rather than just failure theater, you have to pay off the House Speaker, the majority leader.
Wouldn't some people get suspicious because you're paying different parties?
No, but it's legal. It's actually. Oh, by the way, no one even questions that because everybody does it. And
Okay.
that was my main criticism. Is
That's why they brought up that.
Matan,
whole
I
thing.
actually thought it would fucking matter if the Republicans or the Democrats won the election because I thought the policies would be different. What I learned over time is that both sides at the highest levels are working for the same special interests that are paying to get their tax exemptions, their particular business model embraced by an element of government.
Hey guys, sorry for the interruption.
That he dropped 2 huge bombs in 13 minutes of this podcast about how the government works. 13 minutes it only took. From a fucking 17-year-old kid. I couldn't believe it. I got one more, I think, here. I don't know if it's a funny thing or it's actual. It's probably just funny. In my opinion.
He's not alone. There's plenty of those homies rolling around.
I can make you. I can have the Michelin star guy make a.
That's another one.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Let's move on. Is it possible RFK Jr. was the one who killed JFK?
It is not. He would have been considerably too young at the time.
Why is that?
We've learned a lot about that over the last few days about who killed JFK. We've
Well,
learned
it was
that
RFK, I think.
you are wrong. The CIA and FBI concealed substantial amount of information regarding foreign interests.
Junior. Jew. I knew it was them the whole time.
That was good. That's a good play on words.
I'm not making a joke.
Jeez, that was a good podcast, man. I had some good laughs in that. Bro, who writes that down is what a question.
Out of this world.
So, I know that Matt Gaetz was extorted when all that was going on. I think I told you before. But I think the majority of people don't know that this guy right here, I got up, Stephen Alford. He's a British historian and academic is what they label him as. Well, he's a 63-year-old Florida real estate developer who was sentenced to 5 years in prison for his involvement in a plot to extort $25 million from Matt Gaetz' dad. He pled guilty to wire fraud and was sentenced to 63 months in federal prison plus 3 years supervised release. Because what they were doing was trying to get money for this guy, Robert Levinson. In 2020, Iran was ordered to pay $1.45 billion to the family of Robert Levinson, a Jewish former FBI agent who went missing in Iran in 2007. Isn't that weird that that was never on TV? The U.S. District Court in Washington ordered Iran to pay Levinson's family $1.35 billion in punitive damages and $107 million in compensatory damages for his kidnapping. However, this ruling was not intended to directly free Levinson. Okay? That money that they were trying to extort from Matt Gaetz' dad was for the freedom of this guy. And how this ends up in this here is pretty funny. Well, I guess it's not funny, but it's pretty wild. And still not on the news. It wasn't intended to directly free Levinson as he was believed to be dead at the time of the ruling. The lawsuit sought unspecified damages from Iran in part for inflicting emotional distress on Levinson's wife and 7 children. It is important to note that the payment of this money does not directly correlate with the release of a Jewish agent in Iran, as the case was specifically about Levinson's disappearance and the emotional distress it caused the family. Fuck, you can't scroll down like that. It says, regarding the current situation of any Jewish agents in Iran, there is no recent information provided in the context about any ongoing cases or negotiations for the release. Well, what did the article say? That's just the AI response. The first article that pops up on here is from the Times of Israel. 7 Jewish Israelis arrested for spying for Iran on security figures. Residents of the north who emigrated from Azerbaijan accused of carrying out some 600 missions over 2 years for the Iranian handlers, causing damage to the country. And then the next article is about that guy, Daniel Levinson, and having to pay $1.45 billion. TheEconomist.com on February 14th, 2025. Why are so many Israeli Jews spying for Iran? How come that kind of stuff isn't on the news? It's on Jewish news. You have to go look up. $1.45 billion seems like a lot of money, to have to pay a family? That's more than Alex Jones was fucking said that he had to pay fucking the Sandy Hook parents. And where's Robert Levinson? We don't know, but they were trying to extort Matt Gaetz' dad. I think it was for $60 million is what I heard, to try and get this guy out of Iran. Then when I look up Robert Levinson, his Wikipedia was updated 1 week ago. And it's the disappearance of Robert Levinson. That Wikipedia was updated 1 week ago. How weird is that, when this guy went missing in 2007? Presumed death before March 25th, 2020, after 13 years being on, was an American DEA administration from 1970 to 76, then FBI 76 to 1998, agent who disappeared March 9th, 2007 in Kish Island, Iran, while on a mission for the CIA. Levinson's family received $2.5 million from the CIA in order to stop a lawsuit revealing details of his work in Iran and to forestall any revelations of details regarding the arrangement between Levinson and the agency. That's why it's not on the news.
Makes sense.
I don't think he's dead, because they were trying to extort Matt Gaetz' dad. So that means it's still ongoing. Did you watch Matt Gaetz, or Matan go on Matt Gaetz?
What, podcast?
Yep.
No, I didn't even know.
Yeah, it's his most viewed episode. And he has like a ton of episodes. This is pretty funny here.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm not a pro-war guy. I think that what we need to do is just change how people are looking at it. Don't go to war physically or even on an economic or a trade war. Just start trying to implant Americans into other governments. Go send an American guy to dress up like a Nigerian, try to make him the president of Nigeria, for example.
Like Kanye. Would Kanye be a good president of Nigeria?
I think Kanye is too good for Nigeria. I think he needs to be president of the US or maybe the UK.
Okay, who you sending to Nigeria then?
What was that guy's name who was on Seinfeld? Oh, Kramer. Let's send Kramer to Nigeria.
Bro, that's the craziest. Not the craziest. He has another one that was real funny. But the quick-witted think of that person, because that person used the hard R N-word in a comedy club before, back in the day, like at a black show to black people. And so he got blackballed out of the entertainment industry. But you know what guy that is on Seinfeld? The curly-haired tall guy? Ryan?
Yeah.
You know which guy that is?
Yeah.
That's the guy he's talking about. That would be for president of Nigeria.
I've seen him.
And then...
Well, that would either work out.
He had another suggestion, like, at the end of this podcast, I think.
Well, mostly the aggravated identity theft he pled guilty to. And our new generation gets the Princess Diana that they deserve, and ours was, you could do.
I didn't pay a homeless guy or nothing. I didn't do nothing.
$5, you said.
No, I didn't say that.
See, you know what? You would be a terrific politician because sometimes it requires the ability to just abjectly deny your prior statements. You would
Yeah,
crush
my
it.
favorite politician is George Santos. Go ahead, what you were saying?
Oh, listen, every generation gets the Princess Diana that they deserve, and ours was George Santos.
I
Whoever
agree.
it is.
I think that he is just the best. I actually might have him on my show in the next couple months.
You should
Which
hurry
I'm really
because his
excited
sentencing's coming up. You don't
What
want him
is
to have
he-
to do it from prison, so you should
Oh,
definitely
he's
have
going
him
to
on.
jail?
Oh yeah, George is going to go to jail.
Oh, why is that?
Well, mostly the aggravated identity theft he pled guilty to. And
No, he didn't do that.
well, he unfortunately he pled guilty to it. But
Oh,
you
he
can ask
said
him
he
that.
admitted it?
Yeah, he did.
Oh.
He did.
So there's no point in me denying it on his behalf.
You know what? Go for it. He'd probably
didn't do
appreciate that.
Yeah.
He'd
It was
probably.
another guy.
Yeah, we have some interesting characters. Would you ever run for office? Be a politician?
Yeah, I would do it in the future. I don't know if there's a specific. I know to be president, I think you have to be 45. I don't know if that's the same way for
35.
Congress or Senate. Or 35.
Yeah, 35 to be president. But you could run for mayor or.
There's no age requirement for that?
Some people have been elected at your age, and depending on
Oh,
the
really?
jurisdiction. You're ready to go, man.
I would consider it. I would definitely, if I had the opportunity, I would do it. I think it would be especially tough in California. 'Cause the
Oh no,
people
no, no!
here-
You've got that all wrong, partner. That's the only place a guy like you could get elected because they
Oh,
would,
really?
they would get the they would get the riz.
Maybe they would understand it, and then I could just
Or
boost it.
Ukraine, you could run in Ukraine. That guy was a comedian first, Zelensky,
Who is that?
the president of Ukraine.
Oh yeah, I get that would work too, but then I will have to actually be involved in serious business stuff. Well, I guess you could say the same about California, but I don't know. I do agree that had Arnold Schwarzenegger is the guy over in California for a while.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. All right, Matan, thanks.
Did you hear him say that?
Yeah.
Bruh. It's it's crazy, him saying these things to a former congressman.
Zero fucks given.
Who, yeah, his dad's worth $100 million. He's set for life. So he's doing a podcast where how many views does this have? Matt Gaetz has 137,000 subscribers somehow. He doesn't have okay, he has that many subscribers. Let me tell you how many views he's got. Oh fuck, it's playing a fucking video. Sorry, Matt Gaetz. I like your transparency, but his views on his podcast. 1 month ago, 4,000. He has one with the Bustamante guy, the CIA guy. It's got 6,000 views. The one with Matan, 19,000. The next highest, Adam Carolla, he's a big comedian, 11,000. Bro, a lot of these have 500 views and stuff. And his video with Matan has 19,000. I don't know how he got 100,000, 135. He has 2,000 videos, 137,000 subscribers. Matan's his biggest guess ever that I can see. Did you watch the Theo Von Caleb Presley one? This is pretty funny right here.
Here's a similar fact. I saw this. I saw that if you hold in a poot for too long, a fart, that it will come out your mouth.
Really?
If you hold it in for too long, it will come out of your mouth.
Oh my God, girl. Well, I've always heard that a poot is just a gay bit.
Bro, didn't I say that to you a week or two ago? Ryan?
Say what?
That if you burped and it smelled like a fart?
I don't remember you saying it.
I said that 2 weeks ago and you said I was stupid. And then Caleb Presley said that. Couldn't believe it.
I was just going to say how stupid they are. They go even farther with it.
There's
Oh, it's this patron at the wedding.
one more part here. Bro,
What the hell was that?
did you hear that he sends him his shirts?
Oh, that was awesome.
That's amazing. That's the funniest, to send someone your old shirts.
That was funniest too, when they said that the Easter buddy comes a day late.
Oh, I know.
These guys are out here being savages.
Man, so funny. I'm watching this Joe Rogan podcast with this woman, Rebecca Lemoff, Harvard. She got a Wikipedia. She's a nerd. No offense, but she's real smart. I can tell. She's one of those book nerds, bookworms. No Wikipedia. This Harvard thing's, or maybe this is her little bio or something. But this woman's talking about you gotta be a member, eh? Okay, get on. I'm not a member of Harvard. Oh, here we go. Professor of the History of Science, Director of Undergraduate Studies. Research focuses on key episodes and experiments in the history of the human and behavioral sciences. Her forthcoming book, The Instability of Truth, Brainwashing, Mind Control, and Hyper-Persuasion, uncovers the history of brainwashing. This is a Harvard-educated woman who has studied the archives and mentioned so far in this podcast a lot of stuff I've been mentioning, because I feel like most of the world is just unaware. I haven't heard anybody talk about the extremes of but she was talking about you're reverting. They want to revert people. They've practiced dosing people to revert them to a beginning that they can implant memories. Really crazy stuff. This woman, I gotta do more research. I gotta look up stuff that she's written and stuff, because she's went through the archives and stuff. People like this are helping me get information. Really interesting. Other book, Database of Dreams, The Lost Quest to Catalog Humanity, How Scientists Between 1942 and 1963 attempted to map the elusive and subjective parts of the human psyche via once futuristic data storage techniques. And World as Laboratory, Experiments with Mice, Mazes, and Men, about the scientific dream of behavioral engineering. Jeez. I know. So I'm just trying to bundle it all together. I can't bundle it together and recite it like smart people like this.
Speakers.
But I can learn lots of stuff from people like this, put note stuff like this, where when anytime I would have mentioned an MK Ultra or anything like that, 9/11 for so long, people just all of a sudden most people just don't take what I'm about to say seriously. But then so many people are like, oh, but Jesus is real. It's written in this book fucking from 1700 years ago. Oh. It's weird how we just pick sources. We just pick and choose sources. Last thing. Rye, you got an extra device available?
Yep.
What's the number one VPN in the world that you always see sponsored? ExpressVPN. Go hit that Wikipedia of ExpressVPN. It says...
Un sé cómo sé. Why is that have to even be put in there?
Huh?
Why is that even in there?
I don't know. I didn't put it in.
You put that in there.
Bro, I told you. How dangerous is that?
So stupid.
Who's good at spying? That's the best way to do it. Everyone thinks that they're being hidden. They're like, ha 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 ha. Collect. You think that you're going to be hidden with your VPN, and it's a solely owned Israeli billionaire Teddy Saggi's company? Huh. Easy data collection. There's one more this is a must watch I'm gonna go over, but there's so many clips I have to compile together for another podcast coming up. It is this Kurt Weldon. Don't copyright me, anybody. I'm just trying to spread awareness. Right here is an extremely informative podcast. No. Pretty crazy podcast. And hopefully over the next however long it takes, my mom watches this. She's gonna watch it. And who knows how long it'll take. 2 hours and 16 minutes. Holy shit. I haven't watched a video or read something that I learned so much from. Like, it's hard to even explain. I've never learned so many new facts from one thing in a long time. I learned a lot of new facts from this, and it's been a long time since I ever learned a lot of new facts. He also had on, I'll click on the about and it'll probably tell, bro, he had on a military officer with him to like back him credibility wise, and like another guy, like an army general or something. Like, bro, I've seen Kurt Weldon because he was on Tucker and shit before, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then he went on here with, what the fuck are these guys' names? So Congressman Kurt Weldon, Lieutenant Colonel Tony Schaefer, I think that's the Defense Intelligence Agency and Army Intelligence is what he was in, and then Major Eric Kleinsmith. So two people like from Army, and to back him up because they were working during that time. And holy shit, man, I never learned so much from one article or video, maybe ever, or in a long time. Like since the beginning, like I just learned so much from this video. It was so crazy, so like incredible. And this and COVID are the answers I want the most. And Epstein, like there's just so much cover up. And this is a big reason why there's just so much racial hate. This 9/11 there's so much racial hate of billions of people against each other because of these events, and hating brown people and thinking brown people are dangerous instead of convenience store owners and falafel and gyros and shit making good food and taxiing you around. Now so many people think that they're terrorists because they were given minimal information, when it was really these Saudi fucking Arabians And
Our best friends.
yeah, they're best friends for trading. Hardcore complicit in 9/11. If anybody to get accountable, or like accountability of, it's Saudi Arabia being involved the most. It's Saudi Arabia being involved the most.
But they're rich.
Yep. I hope people watch this. Bill Clinton.
Who?
Bill Clinton, he's pointing at you. Wrap this bitch up. I don't know how long it's been. Everybody make sure they be good, like my brother.
Deuce.